What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another stream. I've not been hiding away, as some people have been saying in chat. This is the normal stream, Thursday night. No point in doing one yesterday as well. Plus, it was absolutely awful. Let me turn down this music just a tad. So, yeah. Game week 24 is over. I, for one, am very, very glad about that. Awful week, as you can see. 45 minus 4. So 41 points total with the triple captainship active. Some people got more for their triple captain than I scored in total, which is just awful. As I said on Twitter earlier, probably not even any point in watching this stream, to be honest. You can maybe just turn off now. I'll leave that up to you. But 893k rank. I mean, it's awful. Nothing more to say about it. This season is going to be a write-off. Realistically, I don't even know if I can get top 100k at this point, unless I start making some pretty good decisions pretty quick. And they've all been pretty bad so far, or at least for a while. Ever since that Ings transfer, I think might have been my last good transfer. 3 years to triple captain. So look. I know. It didn't. I even said on Twitter, should have gone Salah because he was lower owned. But at the end of the day, you can't beat yourself up about not captaining Salah when Mane goes off after 32 minutes of the first game. And Salah gets his haul because of a penalty. Doesn't even score from open play. So, obviously, that's one of the reasons to have Salah, not knocking that at all. One of the reasons why he is... or was kind of touted as a better option than Mane was because of the penalties. And it did come through in the end, so fair play on that. But it is a little bit frustrating when that's where it comes from. And obviously, Mane, what the hell can you do about that? There's no, there's no... Triple captain in Mane was not a bad decision. Selling Traore for a hit to Grealish, I would definitely say that was a bad decision. Obviously, a bit of hindsight, the Grealish did nothing and Traore obviously did well. But for a -4, it just wasn't probably needed. And obviously, I didn't really give Villa much of a chance of going through in the Carabao Cup. They've gone through. Now, Grealish is going to blank. I've got De Bruyne's going to blank. Lundstrom's going to blank. Aubameyang was an idea. Now, he's going to blank as well. And Vardy's not. So, we're going to have to talk about that as well. But, the double game was horrible. Dropped like 200,000 odd places. I wouldn't say it's like all down to luck. I think, like, Mane... Like, my rank is not this just because of one unlucky decision with Mane. So there is some luck, but I wouldn't say it's all luck. Do you know what I mean? That's why some people have such good records year in, year out. Triple cat. So I did actually score more than 3 points on a triple captain, which I forgot about. Aguero, I think I got 9 points into 27. So it's not like I've always completely failed with a triple captain. It's like 4 out of 5 now. Not good at all. But I'm still happy with double Liverpool defence going forward, etc. And I mean, easy transfer this week, Mane to Salah. I'm probably gonna do that. I'm also tempted by a hit, which we'll talk about in a minute. Before we do that, though, let's talk about the sponsor of the stream, OneFootball. If you've not downloaded it, just go and do it now. Like I said, no point in watching the stream. Link in the description below. Works on Android, iOS devices, or you can just search OneFootball on the Android, iOS stores. All your football news, league news, lineup news, all that good stuff, as well as live scores. If you're away on the weekend or out and about, you get live scores straight through to your phone. You don't have to worry about going to check them. You can see how many times Mane's got injured in game week 25. Spoiler alert, he's out, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, if you want to go and download that, click the link in the description below, or just search OneFootball on the Android, iOS stores. Job done. So this is my team. This is my team. Why don't you wildcard? You got nothing to lose. Do you know? There's a part of me that agrees. Right? There is a part of me that agrees. And there's a few changes I would make. Would I have more pay? No, I'd probably have Jimenez back in. Instead of Vardy, I'd probably punt on Aubameyang. Maybe that's 2 changes right there. But I've obviously got to get the money for that. So Maddison, Traore, that's just reversing the Grealish transfer. And Grealish is playing Bournemouth now. But suddenly those Wolves fixtures don't look as tricky as they were. So there's no way I'm wildcarding. I'm not against doing something different, but there's still... I don't know. There's still a part of me that can't back away from how I play the game, even though it's obviously not done me any good. So, as an example, always tell myself, don't focus on the blanks too much. Don't forget. Sorry, what's the thing I'm looking for? Like, don't ignore the fact that there's weeks before the blank game week. But then I'm like, well, I should just keep Vardy because he's playing in game week 28, and that coincides with Leicester's good fixtures run. But there's a quote from Rodgers, which I'm going to pull up now. I can't pull it up on screen because screw this this software. But there's a quote about Rodgers. Where is he? It's about Vardy, basically. I want to get the exact quote because I don't want to mess it up. Rodgers confirms that Jamie Vardy has had no side effects from his run out in the EFL Cup and has trained today. All well and good. He played 25 minutes, I think. The Leicester boss said that Vardy could potentially start against Chelsea. Now, that's not a good sign to me. Maybe because it's Chelsea and they're a bit of a rival now. He's playing a bit of mind games. But that's not good news. Yeah, he's fit to start. That would have been better to hear. Which is a bit annoying because I was kind of thinking about taking him out anyway, and now I've heard that. Obviously, the fact he doesn't... I wish he was blanking in game week 28. It would make it a lot easier. But that is when they play... I think it's Norwich. Should get the early team news. That's a good point, actually. I hadn't thought of that. Because they are the early game, aren't they? Yeah, 12:30 against Chelsea. So that's an interesting one. Maybe I'll wait for that news. I don't know whether to keep him, though. The thing is, I want to punt on Aubameyang, but... I'm actually wondering, to be honest, if it's just worth getting Jimenez back in and just being done with it. We'll see. But Mane to Salah is a dead set. There's no overthinking here. I think if I had Mane and Salah and I was pretty happy with the rest of my team and I had a good bench, I'd maybe just bench him because there is a good chance that Mane will be back for game week 26. Not a guarantee. Klopp said that he should be back after the Southampton game, but for me, I kind of want to captain a Liverpool attacker this week, and Mane's injured, and I ain't getting Firmino, so I think Mane to Salah is a dead cert. And that's what makes the Vardy thing a bit more annoying, because if I want to do that, it's then a hit, it's a -4, and if it's for Aubameyang, it's a -4 to then get rid of him again in 3 weeks' time, and I'm just not confident enough that he's going to repay those points in the next 3 fixtures. Because I don't think they're, it's not like Norwich, Bournemouth at home, Villa away. So I don't know. I don't know about Vardy. I'm toying with keeping him, but I just don't think Aubameyang is that exciting where it's going to be that. He is a differential. I'm just not sure if he's a good enough one. Maybe Maddison has been pretty rubbish too. Look, I'll be honest. I'm waiting to see what Bruno Fernandes' price is, because that is a punt I'm going to take at some point. The only problem is Man United's fixtures are not great, and also Man United are rubbish. Apart from that, there's no real downside. Like, completely new player to the league who we don't know if he's going to play. Man United are rubbish, and the fixtures are pretty rubbish too. I just don't see what can go wrong. Arsenal having less shots in the box under Arteta. Yeah, but Aubameyang is one of those players that's quite clinical. Like 17 returns in 22 games, pretty decent. I don't know. I don't see him suddenly not scoring, but yeah. We'll see how it goes. If you got Mane at 11.5, should I still transfer him for Salah? Don't worry about the only reason to worry about the money is if you're going to want to reverse that transfer straight away. If you're going to go Mane to Salah and you're happy with that, then it doesn't matter about the money. If anything, you've made money. Yeah, I am Marco, the guy that does a lot of the graphics for the channel. He messaged me about Fernandes, and my reply was, I cannot wait until we ruin him, just like everyone else. Yeah, Vardy to Jimenez is probably an easy one. Like if I do that, I think I've got a bit of cash in the bank. Then I already kind of do anyway. Got like 1.8 or something like that. Yeah, if I do Mane to Salah and get Jimenez in, I'll have 3.5 to spend. So it's potentially Maddison to Son, someone like that. More pay to whoever. So that's a potential option. Jimenez is rising tonight. I'm not sure. I've not checked the price, sorry, to be honest. Do I really fancy Ings versus Liverpool? I'm not massively sure that he's definitely going to blank enough to bench him, if that makes sense. And if he does get something, I guess I've hedged my bets a bit against my double Liverpool defence. I mean, really, Soyuncu against Chelsea, I would expect Chelsea to score. Dendonka, whatever. Kelly against Sheffield United, I'll probably just play my chances with Ings, to be honest. Am I doing team news tomorrow with Neil? I am. It's going to be at 3 o'clock. I know we've changed the times a fair bit. I had to change it from the 2:30 time because I just can't make that. And then I had to do it 3:30 because I'm busy at 3, but tomorrow I'm not busy at 3, so we're going to do it at 3. But the later time actually helps Neil as well because he does so much work for the team news for the website beforehand that extra time is kind of handy. Yeah, I'm not, again, a little bit... just trying not to overthink things. I got no massive gut feeling or anything that tells me that Ings should be benched this week, so I'm just not going to do it. Simple as that. Sheffield United has signed a new midfielder. Yeah, he's called... I can't remember what he's called. Berger, I think. Should have remembered that earlier. I've read enough threat. Basically, there's for every tweet that says Lundstrom's place is at risk, there's another tweet that says he's not. Apparently, he's more of a defensive midfielder. I ain't sure. Oh, by the way, something kind of cool. This is a great segue, which I just think of. It's a good segue. So let's do a quick shout out to the Patreon. So all the producers on screen right here. And I have to say well done to... Again, I can't bring it up on the screen because it's stupid software. Where is it? Congratulations to Faris Muller, who won the January League with 299 points, scored 81 points this week. Salah captain, no triple captain played. Don't know if it's already been played. But decent week nonetheless. Henderson, Van Dijk, Robertson. So he won the league. Well done. There'll be another league starting tomorrow. Starting on the 1st of February. So if you sign up by the 1st of February, you can get entered into that league. So make sure to go and check it out in the link in the description below. And I think there's a way I can get patrons to show up properly in chat as well. So patrons will kind of be highlighted and stuff like that. So I'll try and work on that over the weekend and get it ready for the Sunday stream. So we'll see what happens there. But if you want to support the channel anymore, check out the link in the description below, basically. A bit of buffering, as always. Nothing I can do about it. We'll just soldier on. But yeah, I need to learn. That's the problem with the January transfer window. There's a load of new names to learn. Is it Bergwijn? It's probably not. So I don't know. 7.5 million. Could it be? He's a winger, right? So he's not going to get in ahead of Son. Will he get in ahead of Moura? Maybe. But he's going to be a wait and see, isn't he? I think massive difference between him and Fernandes. Fernandes has to come straight into that team. At number 10, we're playing Pereira or Mata or Lingard. There is no way he doesn't get straight into that team if he's fit and stays there for the rest of his life. Maybe not quite that much. You're in a position now where you need to throw cushions to win. If I was you, I'd wildcard and bring in a number of differentials. Who, though? Everyone keeps saying wildcard. Who am I bringing in? That's my question. I'm not necessarily against it, but who am I bringing in? Who am I getting rid of? Ings scores and double clean sheet wipeout, bench him. Yeah, but that makes no sense, surely, because if I bench him and he scores, then I've lost the clean sheet and I don't have his points. How much do I think Fernandes is going to be? I felt like Pepe was well overpriced. Now, there's a lot of talk about how good Fernandes is at penalties. Maybe he'll get penalties. I mean, the fact that Rashford's out for so long might mean he gets them. I think if Rashford was still in the team, he wouldn't. If Rashford was fit. He could take set pieces as well. Playing as number 10. Got a pretty good record in the league that he's been playing in. Obviously, not the Premier League. I think he'll come in at 8.5. Which is around what Pogba was, right? I think Pogba started at 8.5. Did he start 8.5? Come on. 8.5. Yeah, he started 8.5. I think it'd be 8.5. I think any more, and it just puts people off. I think 8 would be a good price. I think pricing players for FPL is hard because you can't price them. I've said this before. You can't price them so cheap. You can't price them so cheap that they're just obvious. If they price them at 6 million, everyone would just get them in straight away. They price him at 9.5 million. No one will get him in. So they're going to go probably 8 or 8.5. I think 7.5 or 8 would make it a more interesting punt and probably get a few more takers. But I guess they've got to keep it consistent. So I'd say 8.5 probably. Maybe 8 if we're lucky. But if it's 9 or more, I think it's too much. I'd pick 7.5. Minamino is totally different. Minamino is not going to play, is he? That's the big difference. Like for Liverpool, it's Mane, Firmino, Salah, job done. For Fernandes, he's straight in that Man United team, playing week in, week out. So, and he's a Man United player, and they tend to go up in price quicker. So if they price him at like 7.5, 8, and he does well, he'll rise like 0.2, 0.3 million straight away. I'm not drinking beer. I'm drinking cherries and berries, Tesco squash with water. But everyone always thinks it's beer. I mean, you can see it there. See my reflection in the glass. We'll see. 8 or 8.5 would be 8.5 would be my bet, but I don't know, to be honest. We'll just wait and see. Morpay has good stats. We'll keep him for one more. Yeah, I'm definitely going to keep him for West Ham. I can't remember. I know the fixtures are pretty good. I can't remember who's after West Ham. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, West Ham away is okay, but then Watford at home, Sheffield United away, actually not that great, really, given how good defensively they've been, or how good they've been defensively even. So he's going to have to do something special against West Ham, otherwise I'm going to have to start thinking about getting rid of him, which is another reason maybe the Aubameyang move's not. Because as soon as I do a Vardy to Aubameyang, I think I've only got about 0.5, 0.6 million left if I do Mane to Salah and Vardy to Aubameyang. So it leaves me a little bit stuck with more pay. Potentially could get like Chris Wood, Deeney. So I guess not that stuck, but I've got to be careful of my money, basically. Been on FPL all night waiting for Bruno to come in. Yeah, I wonder if it will just be tomorrow now, so they can announce it during like kind of daytime UK, but you never know. Would I have patience with Mahrez? All I will say for patience with Mahrez is, if you brought Mahrez in, you must have known there was a chance he doesn't play every single game, right? So this is surely just what Mahrez owners expected. So I guess you have to ride it out. If there's someone you really want, then yeah, you could get rid of him because he's going to blank in 28 anyway. But if you think he's going to get points between now and then, keep him. I heard in the week that Sanchez might be coming back from Inter. Yeah, so basically he's on loan to Inter. And I think he's on loan, right? Yeah, he must be, because otherwise why would he come back to Man United? And in the summer, they're going to get him back. And Solskjaer has said something like, he can, basically, I don't, this is not an exact quote, he's basically said he can still do the business. He absolutely probably can't, but I'll tell you now, when he's 6 million, 6.5 million next season, I'm bringing him in. Game week 1, we'll have Rashford, Martial, Fernandes, Sanchez on the right. Bam. Sorry, Daniel James, you're out. Yeah, I kind of like Son too, but yeah, I probably wouldn't bring him in this week either. Tough game against City. Best replacement for Mane except Salah. Honestly, if you've got Salah already, I think it's actually a bit of a struggle to pick a player, because most of you probably already own De Bruyne. Is now a good time to bring him in? Not so sure. What I would say is, don't worry that you have to spend all the money. Like, Traore could even be a great pick, even though he's like, 7 million less. He could just be like one of the better replacements for Mane, and just use that money elsewhere later on, maybe. There's not too many standout. We're in a really horrible position now, especially for those of us that are doing badly. And maybe I'm just missing the players. There's just no players that are kind of differentials with great fixtures who are also kind of like big hitters as well. You know, you got like, I don't know, Fleck at Sheffield United. They got some pretty good fixtures, but he's probably not going to be the one to turn your season around. Everyone's got Liverpool players. Mane's injured anyway. Aguero, you just don't know if he's going to start week in, week out. You could go Aubameyang, but he's going to blank in game week 28. But otherwise, he's got good fixtures, so maybe it's worth holding him through that. But I know for my team, if I got rid of Vardy for Aubameyang, I then have 4 players that are going to blank, so I'd only have 10. I'd have to get rid of like Grealish or De Bruyne or Lundstram, which Lundstram might lose his place and he might make that decision easier for me. Grealish could become Traore example, but yeah, there's a lot to think about, especially if you're trying to climb the ranks. So those are ahead. It's probably a good time to be ahead. Lots of questions about Bruno Fernandes, right? Like, I'm not going to pretend I've watched him play. There seems to be like a lot of love for him. He's going to be playing as long as he's fit. He's going to be playing week in, week out for Man United. Like, he has to. Whether or not he plays straight away, like this weekend, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what Solskjaer says. It's very rare that a player gets dropped straight in. Probably, especially in January. So yeah, he's going to be a good pick, I think. Well, sorry, he's a good player. Whether or not he's going to be a good pick, and whether he can turn Man United around, I don't know, to be honest. Man United are not looking good at all. I will say, I do think Fred and Matic have been okay. Especially Fred. Fred much improved this season. I actually think Matic has been pretty good. Now, to be fair, the standards of Man United right now are quite low, but I think he's been pretty good. And with someone in front of them that can be creative, that could be a good thing. But we'll have to wait and see. I don't know. You'll have to talk to Solskjaer. If you wait till 10, when my stream's finished, Solskjaer will be on next. Just think ignoring Aubameyang because he misses 1 week is the wrong way to look at it. I know, but there's a bit... I know, and I really am. Like, I've been telling myself, like, not all day, but some of the day, do not focus. Stop trying to focus on blank game weeks only. Stop focusing on him. But it's not just the fact that he blanks in 28. It's the fact that I have to take a -4 to get him in. So will he score 4 more points than Vardy over the next 3? Because then I have to then use a transfer to get rid of him. Maybe I should. Part of me, I actually think, you know, sometimes they say, there's a certain percentage of which way I'm going to go. I actually think I'm pretty likely to go Vardy to Aubameyang. I think the seed's been planted. Part of it is just what the hell? What else can go wrong this season? So yeah, we'll see. I might still back out a bit, but right now I'm kind of thinking just go for it. Like, what is the worst that can happen? I'm ranked 1 million next week. That'd be pretty bad, to be honest. Wildcard draft. Yeah, I know. I mistakenly said I might do a wildcard draft video before the end of the week, and I haven't done it. I don't know if I'm going to get it done, to be honest. So yeah, we'll see. If I'm going to do it, it's going to be tomorrow now, so it's going to be late anyway. But we'll see. Mane to Traore and more pay to Aubameyang. Nah, I want Salah captain. I'm not even. Like, I'd like to hear your guys' points of view on it, but I gotta be honest. Like, I'm going Mane to Salah. There's no doubts in my mind unless Klopp says that he's injured tomorrow. You've never been a proper FPL player until you've had a disaster season. I know, my record's actually okay. I think I always put myself down for my record because there are some managers that have got like ridiculous records where they're like top 5k every year. But overall, my record really isn't that bad. Apart from this season, and it is awful. When am I getting a FIFA streamer? I don't know. The one thing I will say, I have fixed the sound issues. I have fixed the sound issues for that, so you can hear the PlayStation now. Doesn't mean I'm going to do a stream, but I have worked that out. Grealish captain, I don't think so. Again, like, here's what I want to hear from. For anyone that thinks I should wildcard, I'm not against it. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. Again, I've thought not much more can go wrong. Maybe I should just wildcard, but who am I bringing in? And who am I getting rid of? That's my key questions. Don't know why so many people are getting rid of Mane. If you bought him cheap, it's going to cost you to bring him back. If you want to bring him back, of course. If. Thoughts on Kyle Walker-Peters and Rose leaving Spurs? I mean, they weren't getting games anyway or minutes anyway, so it doesn't really matter to Spurs, I guess. A little bit less squad depth maybe, but obviously he seems to be trusting Tanganga quite a bit. I've always had a bit of a soft spot for Danny Rose, so I would like to get him in, but it's Newcastle, which, to be fair, probably not that bad defensively, and they got some pretty nice fixtures coming up, so there is a little bit of temptation, but he is quite expensive. Like, where is he? Has he even been moved yet? FPL haven't moved yet. I think he's 5.3 million. Rose 5.3, yeah. And Carl Walker-Peters, he could be okay at Southampton. I don't know. I just think like probably Stevens. I'm not going to get him because I've got McCarthy and Ings already. But maybe Stevens instead. To be honest, hold the wild card just for us. I'm not going to hold. I don't think I'm going to hold. Well, I'm going to see what position my team's in. I don't think I'm going to hold my wild card just for the bench boost. To be completely honest, like game week 29-30 might use it at that point. It depends if there's, Chelsea got some good fixtures then, but I mean their players haven't been worthwhile for a little while. So, what are your season regrets? Well, number one, having a weak password. That is a regret. Triple captainship bad. Not keeping Lundstrom on my wild card. What other massive mistakes, regrets? Getting rid of Traore this week. Getting rid of Traore after saying, look, at the end of the day, he is an enabler that lets me do other stuff, and he's got a points per game average over the last 7 of more than 5, and then getting rid of him anyway for a hit. That was just stupid. Looking into the future, my next regret will be Vardy to Aubameyang. So yeah, I'd have to think a bit. I don't know if I could. I mean, I don't know if I can regret getting rid of Pope. Like there was a lot. There was a lot of reasons to get rid of Pope. Now, again, though, what I will say on that move, getting rid of Pope, there was a lot of reasons why it should be done. And this is a bit of hindsight because obviously he did so well in the last couple of weeks. But I always say I'm never going to use a goalkeeper transfer unless I need to, like if I'm forced into an injury. And I did. I don't usually do that. I usually just save the transfer. So maybe that's a bit of a regret going against how I... But then there was loads of reasons to get rid of Pope. Bringing in Fabianski was obviously a regret because he got injured. Like, what am I supposed to do? And then bringing in McCarthy's been okay. I mean, McCarthy got a clean sheet last week, so that's not too bad. Even if Vardy is bench, he can come in and score potential 25 plus points in the next 3 games. Like, of course, there's potential to score 25 points for Vardy, but if he's ever not going to score 25 points in 3 weeks, it's probably in the next 3. Chelsea, I mean, I don't expect them to smash Chelsea. Then Wolves is going to be tough. Man City definitely going to be tough. I just not see. I mean, 25 points maybe, but that means you think he's going to average more like 8.33 the next 3 weeks. I'm not so sure about that. Think back to Yarmolenko after he got hacked. Yeah, that was nice. That was nice for a bit, and then he went rubbish. He got injured as well, didn't he? Am I originally from Wiltshire? No, but West Country, yes. Am I doing a Euros fantasy team? This comes up every 2 years. Every 4 years for fantasy, but every 2 years because World Cup Euros. I will probably do a Euros team, maybe, but don't expect any videos. I will, as always, I will take a break over the summer. Like FPL is great. There's always something to talk about. You get like those big weeks over Christmas where there's content like every day, but also forces you to have a break in June, or not forces you, but gives you a good opportunity to have a break, and I definitely will. I'll be watching the Euros, not massively caring about fantasy. The only reason I did it before is because there was a work league I wanted to win something. I'm excited for the Euros as well. Football is coming home. If only England's central midfield was as good as their forwards, and if only their defence was as good as their forwards as well. But Gomez, obviously back fit, is great. I don't know who would play left back. I mean, Chilwell's done okay this season. Shaw, meh. Rose, nah. Right back a bit better. I mean, Trent Alexander-Arnold or Kyle Walker. I think Trent works massively well in Obviously Liverpool's set up, but I think Kyle Walker for England could be decent. Then Gomez +1. I guess it's going to be Maguire, Pickford, and then up front. I mean, there's so many options. Rashford is back fit. Sterling, Sancho, Danny Ings, Wan-Bissaka right back. Yeah, of course. But I mean, Wan-Bissaka's third choice, right, behind Walker. Behind Walker and the other guy, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Are these shows available as podcast audio? They are not, but I will say two things. One, I know how to do it now, and it's actually very, very easy. So at this point, it's just me having not signed up and paid for it is one reason. And two, which kind of tails into the first one, is just me being lazy. And three, I'm still not convinced that these streams will work well in audio because they're not structured. You know, half the time I'm talking rubbish, I'm stuttering, I forget my words. I'm not going to go back through and edit all that for a podcast, to be completely honest. So I'm still not convinced these videos will work as podcasts. But the shorter videos, where they are edited, you know, if I make a mistake or you know, do what I'm doing now and forget what I'm going to say, I'll stop and re-record it. I might put those into podcast format. But, I mean, YouTube's always going to be the number one. Plenty of differentials. Watford lads, Aubameyang, Perez, Azpilicueta, Wood. But do you think now? I mean, Perez, I agree. Like, his underlying stats are looking pretty good. But would you bring him in now with Chelsea, Wolves, Man City next, especially when I already own Maddison? It's working really well without the screen. So, I mean, what I will say about to this for the audio on this, I have had quite a few, like at least 7 requests for this to be put into audio. So there's obviously some people that think it would be good, and maybe I'll do it. Like, I'll have to figure out how much it costs to buy all the podcasting space and do it. But I am gonna do some kind of podcast, like, but it will be just converting these videos into audio. I'm not gonna also record a podcast. I don't think there's any need for that. I think people will hear me enough as it is, to be honest. He's top 87,000 in the world good. It is decent. I don't want to convert everyone to podcast though, you know? Watch YouTube. YouTube's where it's at. Okay, let's see. Thoughts on Laporte, although flagged as FPL is fatigued. Yeah, it sounds like he's probably going to play in the next match, but obviously he's just come back from injury, so maybe it'll take a bit of time to get back into it. I like him as an option, to be honest. Yeah, I think he is going to make City more defensively sound. So if you think they're going to keep some clean sheets, I think he's a good option. Whether or not he's worth outlay right now, especially if you're on like double Liverpool defense, then not sure. Stick to one channel. YouTube's great. Yeah, but like if I do podcasts, like nothing on YouTube would change. Like YouTube will come first, then I'll just convert to podcasts, basically. SoundCloud's free. It is, but I don't think if I put it on SoundCloud, I think it just stays on SoundCloud. Whereas other people use like Spotify and all that stuff. So there's another service you can sign up to that puts. So you upload it to one place and it puts it out to every other place, like Spotify and stuff. So yeah, I often listen to this show as a podcast with YouTube Premium. Yeah, look. Anyway, we won't. This is what I mean. I often go off talking absolute rubbish. Imagine if someone was listening to this as a podcast now, and I'm just talking about how much it costs for a podcast and different podcast platforms. Or maybe people like that. Maybe people like that. I don't know. And at the end of the day, I've been asked enough that I think maybe I'll do it. We shall see. No, I will do it. The we shall see is when I'll do it. That's the big key. Do I do it for this season or just do it next season? We'll see. We'll see. Shame it's not free. That's the good thing about YouTube. It's completely free to set up. Podcast, not so much. But it is very easy to convert these to podcast format. Like, much easier than I realised. I had to learn. I think I said this the other day. I learned how to do it. I had to do it for Fantasy Football Scout, sorry. Learn how to convert them, and it's pretty damn easy. Got the software, got the knowledge. I'm just lazy, basically. And I have to pay for it as well, but whatever. Don't get. I'm not. I know, like I probably sound like I'm moaning quite a lot on Twitter, but I'm kind of. That's just like, I don't know. It's just like part of the. I don't want to say act. It's not an act. Like, I am like annoyed at what's happened, but I'm not. Like, I'm not genuinely annoyed at this season. Like, it happens. Well, I'm sure. Like, it hasn't happened to me. Like, it's been this bad. But obviously, we're not even at the end of the season yet. So who knows what can happen? Have I lost hope? I've lost hope of getting the top 10k. I think that's like well out of my league now. If I could get top 100k from here, I think that would be a big win given where I am now. It would still be a poor season. Like, I wouldn't like that finish, but I think in terms of like a story of where I was at X point in time, it would be a good finish. But I'm not giving up hope. Like, I don't want to say it's just a game, because like obviously we wouldn't do podcasts and live streams and spend hours each week talking about this if it was just a game. Obviously it literally is just a game, but you know what I mean. So yeah, still enjoy it, still want to make videos. Like some people said, sometimes I talk sense, I just don't act on it. So yeah, keep forgetting that you had your account hacked. Yeah, I mean, look, the account hacking would probably take away some points from the season, but not enough to put me at 893k. That is just some bad that's some bad decisions, to be honest. Having the minute. Oh, everyone's saying they listen to on podcasts. Don't know why I'm doing this. How many years have I played? I have played. This is my 10th year now, 10th season. Do I think Richie is a good option with his fixtures? Or look, I quite like the thought of getting Matt Ritchie in as a punt, potentially on all set pieces, listed as a defender. Newcastle got pretty good fixtures, but he is quite expensive. And to be honest, the fact that they've signed Rose now, it makes him a massive turn off. To be honest, you need to wait until Rose and Ritchie are both fit and see who kind of starts one or two games. And by that point, maybe it's too late then to bring in a Newcastle player. So it's just unfortunate circumstances. I think if they hadn't signed Rose, and maybe they've just signed him as backup, but that seems unlikely. Then Ritchie would have been a bit more of an option. But I'm not so sure now. FPL was so much more simple in 2009. You captain Carvalho. I've captained players like Moses when he played for Wigan in game week 1. There was also that striker who did really well in pre-season. I remember being on Fantasy Football Scout on the boards, like chatting as and when. And Boselli for Wigan had done really well. I think I captained him game week 1 once as well. I don't think that worked out. Donovan, how's it going? If you didn't own Ings and had the money in the bank, given Liverpool good fixtures in 26, would you choose Ings over Aguero? Yeah, I think I would. I think, like, any given game, if they both play, like, I wouldn't bet on Ings doing better than Aguero. What I will bet on Ings doing is carrying on being consistent. I just don't see any reason why he can't keep up what he's been doing. Maybe not like a goal for 7 or 8 weeks in a row, whatever it was, but enough points he's going to provide for his price. No, he doesn't have penalties actually, but like you said, they've got good fixtures, and you know he's going to play pretty much week in, week out, especially now the fixtures are kind of settled down a bit. And if he doesn't play, Hasenhüttl's usually pretty open about when that's going to be. So I think I would still probably rather have Ings in the money over Aguero, but obviously Aguero is a really sweet differential. I think there are plenty of differentials with this game because that's kind of what I was saying earlier. Like again, maybe I'm just missing them. Like there's some players that are different. Like you say, there are literally some differentials, but there's just not like a really nice set run of fixtures and stuff. Malouda was my outstanding player in my first FPL season. Yeah, I'm pretty sure in my first season was the season Malouda and Drogba were playing for Chelsea. When would that have been? That would have been like 2009-10. My first season was 2010-11. And I'm pretty sure I had Malouda and Drogba in game week 1. I remember being in Preston at a party. And I think they scored like 4 goals between them or something, or got 4 attacking returns between. I had one of them captain. That was a nice start. Much better than Boselli and Moses. Why not go full differential? The thing is about going full differential, like, it can get you on the ranks, of course, but it can also really dent you. So unless I am on the lookout for differentials if I genuinely think they're going to be good options. But I don't want to just put a differential in for the sake of it. Look, maybe if there was 2 players and I really wasn't sure between both of them, then I might go for the differential. But otherwise, I'm not going to just stick my team in like 11 differentials just for the sake of it, if they're no good. Would have loved the triple captainship in the Ronaldo days. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, Michu was good. I don't think I captained him though. What do I think of Son? Wildcard and activated. He's a nice differential. I would quite like to have Son in my team. Let's just say that. None Liverpool is a big enough differential. You're saying go for no Liverpool? You're right. We haven't talked about the blanks at all. I don't know if there's much to talk about. Like Sheffield United, Arsenal, City, and Villa confirmed the blanks. Absolutely. I guess the key thing to look at about whether you're going to keep their players is what are the fixtures like afterwards. So for Arsenal, they're really good. For Sheffield United, I think they're pretty good. Yeah, they're okay for a couple of weeks, then they get tricky. So maybe they don't need to be kept. I mean, Man City's fixtures are pretty rubbish, but I mean they've been rubbish anyway, and people have kept KDB anyway. So I don't think that really matters. And who's the other one? Villa. It's only really Grealish and Target, I suppose, that are proper options anyway. So it's not going to be a huge issue, I don't think. I don't think most FPL managers are going to be stuck with like 7 or 8 of these players, to be honest. Big Dave, thanks very much for that. To tell me you're 50 points ahead. Congratulations. Let me see your ID. What rank are you for 50 points ahead? Let me see. You are 348k, so 500 plus thousand places is 50 points. Damn, that's quite a lot. Still catch-upable. That's not a word, by the way. You had captain Salah, Trent Alexander-Arnold. No triple captain. Have you used it already? Let me see. How do I check? Game week history. You used your triple. Oh, you used your triple captain in game week 1 on Salah. Nice. So Salah game week 1, 12 points. Shame you didn't use it on Sterling, but to be honest, you had Sterling, so not the end of the world. Very nice. Decent team, 50 points ahead. You can still get into the top 10k. I'm telling you. But I don't know if some of you saw on Twitter, I bought a new watch. Like one of these ones that tracks your heart rate, because I need to know if I'm still alive. And I'm looking at it now, and I'm still alive. So, well worth investing in. I'm really intrigued to see if my heart rate goes up loads when I'm watching like something based on FPL. What about trying to take more hits for big jumps? Yeah, I think that's why I'm looking at Vardy to Aubameyang, just to see if it works out for a hit. And just go from there. Yeah, I do. The thing with hits is I found earlier in the season, like I took that hit a while ago now to get rid of Sterling, and at the time it was a pretty big move. Like a lot of people were against getting rid of Sterling. I did it to bring in Vardy and who was it? Was it Vardy and Jimenez? And they did really well, so that was a great hit. And then I found myself looking at hits more then, and then the next few didn't really work out. So that's one thing I find. If I do well with a hit, you kind of want to just take more of them, and then when they fail, you want to kind of take less. It's a bit annoying. Well, not annoying, but it's not necessarily a good way of playing. Like sometimes it's hard to like block out what happened that was bad. So I'm still going to look at hits for sure, but I don't want to necessarily take one every week for the sake of it. Like I'm not going to change that style of play. I'm not just going to do something just for the sake of it. Like pump it through a differential, take a hit every single week. But I will take hits if I need to. But like last week, like I thought Grealish, he's the man scoring every week. Like there really wasn't really wasn't a good enough reason to bring in Grealish. I know it looks like hindsight now, but yeah, it really wasn't a great move, I don't think. There wasn't enough reason to do it. Yeah, one game week hits a high risk. I definitely wouldn't be doing that. Unless it was for like a captain. Like, you've seen how well it paid off for some Aguero owners. I don't know, let's say someone had Villa at home, whoever it might be. Say you didn't have Salah or something, you took a hit for 1 week. I know you're not going to keep Salah for 1 week, but you get what I mean. Grealish is not as good as you think. The thing is, I don't necessarily think... I think he has been great for Villa. Whether or not he's a great FPL asset, he has been. Whether or not he can keep that up, I don't know. But yeah, you're right. And I don't think he is that great. I don't think I should have probably done that move. And I regret it even more now they've gone through in the cup. So captain Aubameyang this week. So I've thought about this. Because again, if I want a differential, maybe Aubameyang over the next few weeks. But it's just so hard to look past Salah. I do think that would kind of be overthinking to not captain Salah. What's the thoughts on Danny Rose going to Newcastle? Possible goodbye? Yeah, again, like we talked about this just a minute ago. He's 5.3 million, so it's quite pricey. I do agree that potentially they could get some defensive returns. My only worry with him is how rusty is he? He's not really had many minutes this season. But I agree, like attack. But the thing is, does he still have that ability to go forward and attack? He did once upon a time. I remember I had him in my team quite a few times, but I don't know now. We'll see. Callum Wilson wildcard punt for 1 week. Who are they even playing this week? Aston Villa at home. Yeah, I like it. 1 week punt on wildcard. You go for it. Maybe that's my punt. Maybe Callum Wilson is my punt this week. Vardy to Callum Wilson. But I know I bang on about fixtures. I know I do, and I try not to. But don't they get awful? So Villa at home good. Sheffield United away, Burnley away. Not bad, to be fair. Chelsea, Liverpool. I mean, they need to do something Bournemouth at the moment. I like that, though. 1 week punt against Villa could work out. So I think Fernandes will be... I think... we've said this already, but I know a few people have probably joined since. I think... Fernandes, 8.5 million, I reckon. 8 million if we're lucky. Someone's just tweeted me, Amar Singh, I think, when Andy talks about making his stream available via podcast. And he's got the thing from Dumb and Dumber. So he's telling me there's a chance. I'm telling you there's a chance. You had to remind me. Yes, Morpay against Villa and Bournemouth was my punt, yeah. Didn't happen. Didn't work out. Your son is 117k. Very nicely done. Great rank. I mean, let's not forget as well, there's 7 million players. So being in and around the 100k is pretty decent this time of year for sure. Very good chance of making it, a good finish. That's the thing as well. I thought that if I do a podcast, I don't want to completely copy everything. So let's say I do like the preview video. I'll keep the middle bit, but the intro and outro will change. So does that mean I need a theme tune? Do I need music? Do I need a podcast tune? How does this all work? It's so confusing. It's so much easier on YouTube. By the way, if you haven't already, make sure to give the video a like, even if it's a sympathy like, because I'm just awful at FPL. Subscribe if you're new, and vote on the polls, top right hand corner. Click the little eye, and vote on the polls. We've got 5. We've got a full house, I think, tonight. I didn't even put captain in. What an idiot. So are you interested in Bruno Fernandes? What to do with Vardy? What to do with Mane? Are you wildcard? Is Vardy to Aubameyang a good move? Didn't put captain in. What an idiot. I did think about Candyland, whether someone could remix it for me. I use Candyland because it's copyright free. But I don't know if I'm allowed to get it changed and use it. I'll have to have a look. You need music for an intro. I know, but you have to do fancy things like have the music and then make it lower so you can talk over it, and then make it higher, and then make it lower so you can talk over it, and then gradually fades out. That's a lot of work, you know. For this, I just stick on Spotify and then put up a starting screen. Do you know what I mean? It's like, bam, there you go. Bam, there you go. Easy. things can only get better. I didn't carry on writing that earlier because I couldn't remember the next line. Can only get better. Something. Yeah, I don't know. Has Frank said anything about Abraham? I don't think so. It'll be tomorrow. You can pay people to make radio jingles. So I've got to pay to do the podcast and pay to make a jingle. You see what I mean? We'll see. At the end of the day, I could just start off by doing it voice only, no theme tune. And worry about that later on, you know? I mean, General's only just got his funky new intro. He's been podcasting for a while. When I'm with you. Gee whiz. You know it. Has Lord Lundstrom lost his place? Look, we don't know is the honest answer. We will find out this week. I think it is a bit worrying, but let's see after this week. Get Salah and Aubameyang in. Yeah, I was actually almost tempted to just rage so much that I would do it live, but there's talk about a potential double game week in game week 25. Now, I've just seen Ben say that. It doesn't seem very likely to me because it's such a quick turnaround, but who am I to argue against the double game week master? And obviously, you know, if Vardy starts against Chelsea, would I be more tempted to keep him? Maybe. So I'll probably wait for that. I hate the shiny forehead. I have to sit back. It doesn't matter. It kind of goes, and then yeah. You could write an FPL song using FPL jargon and sing it for your intro. Tell you what, lads, you're not selling me this. You're not selling me this podcasting. Sounds like a lot of work. All right, let's do the polls. If you haven't voted on now, it's too late. I mean, it's not too late because I have to refresh them. So if you get in within the refresh, it's too late now. It's too late now. Are you interested in Bruno Fernandes? 38% yes if he's below 7.5. 27% yes if he's below 8.5. So there's quite a lot of interest, to be fair. 26% not a hope. Fair enough. Man United. And 7% yes no matter what. So quite a lot of interest potentially for him. It's always interesting when someone new comes to the league as well. Vardy, only 60% saying hold. Well, that probably is a little bit higher than I would have thought. 60% hold, 40% sell. Sell or hold Mane. 36% saying sell if you don't own Salah. So that's basically my situation. 36% also saying sell no matter what. Interesting. 17% keep if you own Salah, so obviously bench him, and 10% keep either way. So more people looking at selling than holding. Are you wildcarding this week? 71% of you said no. 13% already used and 15% said yes. So a few wildcards out there in the open. That's probably why I've got so many requests for a wildcard draft video. And is Vardy to Aubameyang a good move? 56% of you say yes. So 60% think you should hold Vardy, but 56% think Vardy to Aubameyang is a good move. That is interesting. There you go. That is the polls done. You got Troyer on the bench coming for Mane. Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough. If you've got a good move like that and you're happy with it, job done. I'm not saying you should sell Mane. I'm just saying I'm definitely gonna. Salah's coming in. It's gonna. Egyptian comfort blanket is back. Get the captaincy on him. Still somewhat of a differential, I guess. Although a lot of people will get him in this week, so he's probably not a differential at all. What's the highest score? I don't know. Is it worth to get Carwell? I mean, he might be good, but I think Stevens there is still a good option. He's been there consistently, virtually the whole season. Vardy to Aubameyang is a good move if no hits are required. Yeah, I think that probably is a big part of it. Just convert this to audio. I will. I'm only messing with the podcast stuff. I mean, I would like to do it properly, I guess, with the theme tune and stuff, but like I said, I'm also very lazy, so we'll see. Sorry. Bruno has arrived, but FPL has still not priced him. And obviously, this all depends on him being able to shift Lingard from the number 10 spot, so we'll have to see. All right, people, I'm going to leave it there. I'll just do a quick like shout out to the links and stuff, and then we'll do 5 minutes of whatever chat. But for FPL stuff, we are done. So if you're watching non-live, this is where you can shut off. If you want to check out OneFootball, link in the description below, or just search OneFootball on the Android iOS stores. If you've not already signed up to Patreon, a new February league will be starting on the 1st of February. So if you've already thought about maybe signing up, now is a good time to do it. You get access to Slack and all that good stuff. Link in the description below. Otherwise, I will wish you well for Game Week 25. I hope I get more than 30 points this week. That'll be a good week. Salah coming in for sure, for Mane, captain. Maybe Vardy to Aubameyang. But yeah, we'll leave the FPL stuff there. If you want to chat about whatever, we can do that. Mason, sorry to hear that. I hope everything's going well and you're getting better. No better way to spend time in the hospital looking at fantasy. Oh, you had triple captain Mane. I mean, that is just like kick a man when he's down. Let's hope your captain this week is awesome. I hope the hospital stuff's going well. Am I watching Six Nations? I mean, I probably will watch some of it. Yeah, I'm not like mad into rugby, but I probably will watch some of it. Yeah, especially England Ireland. Do I believe that Pogba will be off in the summer? I don't think Fernandes coming makes a difference to whether Pogba's going to go or not. I would say. It seems kind of inevitable that he will go, but I don't think the fact that Fernandes coming makes a difference because they kind of play different positions. I mean, obviously Pogba can play further forward, but it's not quite the same. What new chip would I don't know. I would just like the chips available in the first half of the season, to be honest. Don't even need any new ones. What about Brexit and English football? That's a very broad thing to talk about. Although I think of the performance versus City, I mean, it was okay at times. Like, obviously, the win was good. At the end of the day, City should have scored. 1-0 looks not flattering. Obviously, it's just one goal, but City should have scored. I mean, what's David Silva doing? Should have just smashed it in. You obviously don't... Oh, how's the puppy? Puppy's very good at waking up about 5 o'clock. So my next 2 weeks are going to be trying to get her to stop barking early in the morning by teaching her that when she barks, I'm just going to take her out and then put her back in her crate until it's tight, until I want to feed her. But that is probably going to be a while. I don't think it's going to happen in 2 weeks. Do I eat soup? Usually only when I'm ill. Not really. I mean, the soup's one of those things, and maybe it's just because you're ill, but I never have it. But when I'm ill, I have it, and I think I should eat soup more often. Who am I supporting at the Euros? England, of course. The fact that Game Week 26 is split into 2 weekends makes me feel safer captain and a first weekend player. Yeah, that's going to be a big talking point. When is that's next week, isn't it? I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to be honest. I hate to say it. Like it's going to be horrible if it's like Game Week 24, where it's an absolute disaster in the first week. Then it's going to be a horrible wait to see what happens in the next week. But I'm looking forward to the break, to be honest. Although it kind of sucks not making content, but we'll see. But yeah, you're right potentially about captaining a player. The thing is, I want to captain Salah, and he plays the second week. So I don't know. I get what you're saying, but I mean they're going to be just training, aren't they? They're not going to be playing cup matches or anything like that. So you'd be very unlucky if someone got hurt in training. Like I think, just have a good vice captain, I suppose. Maybe have a vice captain from the first lot of games. How long does it take to make a living from YouTube? When I get there, I'll tell you. That new background shot's been there a while, but I don't stay on this screen long enough. I need to get Ings there somewhere as well. Who does Ings replace? Jimenez, Baines, Atsu? I don't know. Teaching the dog when daytime is still tough. My dog always asks for a wee at 4 a.m. I don't mind when she was younger. I mean, she's still young. Like I don't mind when she's young and like that's what she needs to do, but she doesn't go back to sleep. I woke up at 5 this morning to take her out. And then put her back in at 17 minutes past 5. She's barking again. The problem is we've kind of taught her that when she does that, we'll come and Even if we don't feed her, we'll sit down with her or lie on the sofa. So that's not happening now. Even if I have to get out 4 or 5 times, that's what I'm going to try and teach her, that she barks, she goes out, straight back in. Yeah, I'm thinking... I'm kind of thinking Baines maybe. Jimenez was such a legend, and Atsu was kind of the first kind of thing. So maybe Baines, but I do like the story behind Baines. So I don't know, it's a tough one. I can't get rid of the hacked one. A little bit tempted to hit the button, but definitely not going to. Bet his price would be around 9 like Martial. Nah, Ings can't... I don't think... Maybe Ings can go in the hacked t-shirt next year. But I don't know, I kind of like the hacked t-shirt. I think Ings has to go somewhere else. We'll have to see. Maybe we have to give Ings to the end of the season to see if he's definitely worth it. I mean, Ings is kind of doing what Jimenez did last year, so maybe it's Jimenez that you should replace. It's a tough thing, you know, tough thing to decide. Important decisions like this in life are hard to come to a decision on. For someone playing FPL for the first time, what would you say is a good overall rank? Currently on 300k. I mean, if you can get in around like 100k, I think that's pretty good. Like, just because you're outside 100k doesn't mean it's bad. There's so many... The thing is these days, I know it gets repeated so much. There's so many players, not only so many people playing, but for every... Like, there's 7 million accounts or whatever, 7 million teams. Like, it's probably like more like 3.5 million actual active. But that's obviously... You know, still a higher percentage than previous seasons. So, and there's so much more info available. Everyone's got a podcast. There's a new podcast coming out every day. Same for like videos and stuff. So, you know, new sites or whatever. So yeah, the competition is tough. Like, there's so much more information available. Nothing's kind of a secret anymore. You know, like Lundstrom, like 5 years ago, maybe even 6-7 years ago. Imagine a player like Lundstrom. Like, he would have been such a differential. Not for long, obviously, but everyone knew about him at the start of this season. Like, all over Twitter and stuff. So yeah, 300k, decent. I mean, you'll get higher than that though as the season goes on, I would say. What do I think about Conte raiding the Premier League? Yeah, it's pretty funny. I'm sure it's just a coincidence, but it is kind of funny. Could make the shirt smaller and have 2 tiers, potentially, yeah. Potentially. You will not use United players. No, that's not good. That is not good. Manning out for Aubameyang. Sterling had West Ham at home next, so it might be a good move for the next few fixtures. Yeah, if Sterling can start scoring, that would be good. Keep VAR, alter VAR, or lose VAR. I would like to see it altered probably before it's completely gone. But we'll see. Would I bank a 99,000 overall rank? Like, if you could give me 99k right now, yeah, I would probably take it, to be honest, I think. I think it's going to be difficult to get much higher than that. Had no clue when I started this year. Just pick players because I like their names. You only need Liverpool players. Well, that's a good team to know, to be honest. Like my first season, like I really just started because my friends were playing, and I was beating them by a mile, like 100 points or so, with like 4 weeks to go. So I just took loads of hits, took like -8s all over the place. Like, I wasn't really aware or cared about rank then. Obviously, it's a bit different now. Easier days back then, easier days. Right, people, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks very much for tuning in. I will see you. Oh, I think we're into a normal. Yeah, we're into a normal game, aren't we? One more week until the 2-week game week. So I'll be back on Sunday as normal. Then normal content next week, and then a little break, which is going to be nice. We might do some kind of stream or something, but I don't know exactly what. Go and like the stream if you haven't already. Check out Patreon, the links in the description below. Check out OneFootball and subscribe and all that stuff. And I will see you later. Bye.